loves, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how I created this black smoky eye, which I think is going to be perfect for Valentine's Day. To me, this is the perfect look for a night out with your boyfriend or your husband because it's so sultry and seductive, but it's one of those looks that's going to look beautiful on everybody. So if you're like me and you like dramatic looks, then I think you're really going to like this one. I know that dark smoky eyes can be really intimidating, but this was a lot easier to achieve than it looks. And I also wanted to mention that all of the products that I used are from the drugstore and super affordable, which is definitely a plus. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so first I'm priming my eyelids with the Maybelline Fit Me concealer. I always prime my eyelids because it helps keep your eyeshadows on a lot longer throughout the day. So I'm just taking my beauty blender and I'm blending that in. This is the palette that I'm going to be using today. It's the L'Oreal Lab Palette Nude 2, and I'm taking this light gray color and this light pink color, and I'm using those as my first transition shades. So with this big fluffy blending brush, I'm just softly blending them into my crease. Now I'm taking the Maybelline gel liner and I'm applying this on my lid with an e.l.f. small shadow brush. This is going to be a great base for the black eyeshadow that I'm going to use on top because it's really going to make it pop, and it's also going to help with the longevity of it. This is the black eyeshadow that I'll be using. It's called Panther by Wet n Wild, and I was really impressed with the pigmentation of this shadow considering the fact that it was only $1. So I'm taking a Morphe shadow brush and I'm placing that right on top of the gel liner that I applied. Now I'm going back into the L'Oreal palette and I'm going to use some of this dark mauve shadow just to blend that into my crease to start darkening it up a bit. With this dark gray shadow from the same palette and some more of the black eyeshadow, I'm going to focus on blending out some of the harshness of the black eyeshadow that I already placed on my lid. Just remember that the key to a successful smoky eye is to blend, blend, and blend some more. I feel like I lost some of that dark mauve color from earlier, so I'm taking some more and continuing to blend that into my crease with the same small blending brush. This one is the 221 brush by MAC. Moving on to the brows. As you can see, I've hit major pan on this Ultimate Brow Kit by Wet n Wild because this has been one of my go-to brow products lately, and I always use the Sonia Kashuk small angle brush with it. If you have fuller brows that don't require much filling in, then this is a really affordable brow powder, but if your brows are more sparse, I would recommend using a brow pomade instead, like the ones from Salon Perfect or Milani. feel like cleaning up the brows after you fill them in just makes them look a lot better, so I'm using some more of the Fit Me concealer and cleaning up the edges with the Morphe small angle brush. With this first pearl colored shadow, I'm gonna use this to highlight my brow bone and the inner corners of my eyes as well. Here I'm just removing the tape from my eyes, and I'm using a baby wipe to remove any of the fallout that might have fell on my face from those shadows. Today I'm using this Maybelline primer to prep my face for foundation. I feel like primer is extremely necessary because it prevents the foundation from seeping into your pores, which causes breakouts, and it makes the foundation go on a lot smoother. For foundation today, I'm using the L'Oreal Magic Nude, and with my flat top brush by Crown Brushes, I'm gonna start buffing that into my skin. I forgot how much I love this foundation. It has a real liquidy consistency, but once it dries, it's such a beautiful powdery finish, and I would say it has a light to medium coverage. Once again, I'm using some more of that Maybelline concealer to conceal and highlight, so I'm applying some underneath my eyes, on my chin, and a little on my cupid's bow, and I'm gonna blend that in using my beauty blender. I've heard a lot of good reviews on this Wet n Wild contour palette, so I just had to try it out. I believe that they have a lighter one, but this one's in the color Caramel Toffee. This was my first time using it, and I have to say that I really like it. The colors go on the face so smoothly, and the bronzer wasn't too orangey, which is a big plus for me. I picked this up for about $5 at Walgreens. I always like to set my foundation, so I'm using one of my favorite loose powders from the drugstore, which is by CoverGirl, and it's in the color Translucent Fair, and I'm using an e.l.f. powder brush to blend it. Now I'm going back into the Wet n Wild palette, and with the darker color, I'm putting that on my forehead, my cheeks, and my neck. And then I'm going to clean up the contour a little more with that CoverGirl loose powder. Going back into that palette with these two gray shadows and some more of that black eyeshadow, I'm going to start smoking out my lower lash line. I'm also going back into this mauve and some of this light pink, and I'm going to start diffusing that just a little bit more. Here I'm just tightlining a little bit, and I'm applying some of L'Oreal's Pencil Perfect eyeliner in Ebony on my waterline as well. This is where you would go and apply false lashes, but today I'm just going to be sticking to my tried and true L'Oreal Double Extend Mascara. This is such a great mascara from the drugstore. I use about 2 coats of this, and I just love how long and full my eyelashes look afterwards. I'll never stop using it. I have to say that this brow gel by L'Oreal is even better than some of the high-end ones that I've tried because it doesn't make my eyebrows hard after it dries and it keeps them in place all day long. I just love it. For highlight today, I'm using the L'Oreal True Match Lumi Powder in Golden, but before I apply it on my face, I'm going to put some on my brow bone and inner corners just to make the eyes pop a little bit more. And here, I'm just gonna take a Q-tip to clean up my tear ducts a little bit. With this highlighter, I find that it works best with a fan brush, so I'm using my Sephora fan brush and I'm putting some on my cheeks, on my cupid's bow and my chin area, and highlighting my nose using my finger. For blush today, I'm using this one by Milani in Tea Rose because I feel like it complements the mauve tones in this look perfectly. And last but not least, I'm lining my lips and filling them in with Jordana's Rockin' Rose lip liner. Now I'm going to be mixing these two matte lipsticks by NYX to get my desired shade. First, I'm using this mauve colored one in the color Whipped Caviar, and then I'm going to take the color Butter just to tone down the pink a little bit and add a little bit of gray to it. I picked these up at my local beauty supply, but I've also seen them at Target. Either way, they're really inexpensive and I only paid about $4 for each one. So this is the completed look, dolls. All of the products that I used are really affordable and you can pick them up at your local drugstore if you decide to recreate this look. Don't forget to comment down below if you'd like to see more drugstore makeup tutorials, and I'll see you all in my next video.